Basketball regional final is upon us on a Saturday evening, February 25th, 2023. The Deforest Norskies and the Monona Grove Silver Eagles on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. Good evening, everybody. My name's Jesse Nelson, and welcome into this exclusive video presentation of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. For nearly 50 years, Zimbrick Honda's provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles, and the trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda in Madison today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search vehicle inventory. Last night, the regional semifinals did not disappoint on PrepMania as the 4-seed Deforest Norskies escaped on their home floor with a 57-54 victory over the 5-seed Sauk Prairie Eagles. The Norskies, with an overall record of 18-7 now on this season, come into play tonight against the Monona Grove Silver Eagles with an overall record of 20-4, the number 1 seed in this regional and the 4th-ranked team in Division II, according to the AP rankings across the state of Wisconsin. We bring in the Dean, Dennis Semrau. Dennis, good evening. Happy Saturday. It's part of the busy season. You were at state wrestling at the Cole Center earlier today. You were with me in DeForest last night. You're bouncing all around this state and this area for high school sports this time of year. This is fun, though. The regional finals, always a compelling matchup when all of the ladies play on back-to-back nights, how they're able to bounce back and get right back after it with a chance of the season being on the line.
We had a great night in DeForest last night. Then, like you said, to the Cole Center to watch a couple of our former UW Credit Union student athletes. Griffin Empey going for a state title after finishing second the last 2 years. And Isaac Bunker, unfortunately, he got beat in the semis. He's coming back. I think he finished third today. Just a great atmosphere there. But, wow, who'd have thought February 25th? Where did the winter go? Well, we had a couple of snow days. And I like the fun part this week talking to the coaches is, okay, we can't go to school, but how can we practice? Mm-hmm. They found a way to get some practice time in because it's very important this time of year. Scouting, well, now when you got to play Friday, Saturday, you got to do a little bit of advanced scouting ahead of time. But you need those practices to try to get some things in. Both teams had some walkthroughs this morning, but they've seen each other once already this year, and it's just typical Badger Conference battle.
Going to be a fun one tonight. The 4-seed DeForest Norskies, the 1-seed Monona Grove Silver Eagles, Division II, sectional number 3. The winner of this game will play Thursday night at Stoughton High School against the winner of the 2-seed McFarland hosting 3-seed Reedsburg. Dennis, before we dive more into DeForest and Monona Grove, let's talk about some of the other games in the area going on tonight in the regional final. Reedsburg, a team that reached the state tournament at the Resch Center a year ago. They go on the road as a 3-seed tonight in the regional final against one of the best players in the area over at McFarland. It's going to be a fantastic game to keep our eyes on and see which team, the winner of this game tonight that we're about to watch, gets to play on Thursday.
Yeah, both teams have showcase players, but Tegan Mullaney, she's one of the top recruits in the country. Her list for college is a who's who. You got Duke, North Carolina, Iowa, Wisconsin, you name it. Of course, Iowa's sneaking in there. There's something about Iowa. They steal our best girls basketball players. We're in the gym where McKenna Warnock had an outstanding high school career player of the year, senior year. And they got a little banner up there just in the bleachers. I said, there's the Wall of Fame for McKenna. I knew it had to be here. Just like for the guys, we steal the best players out of Minnesota, so I guess we shouldn't talk. But, you look at Mullaney, just her whole game. When you have a very good player, there's a tendency for the team to kind of wait for them to make plays and stand around and watch a little bit. But she's done a really good job of getting that team involved. Her sister up to about 5 a game. She's a double-double machine. She makes her free throws as much as you get hacked inside. You got to be able to hit at the line. We saw that with Maggie Hartwig last night for Sauk, 8 for 10 from the line. She ended up with 28 points. So you get those free points, you got to get them. And tonight, this is going to be just, I think, a very physical game. You look at Monona Grove, a team that they had an easier game last night, but you look around here, when you get to this level now, regional finals, everybody's good. You don't really see a lot of upsets, but that's why we play the game, so you never know. So you can say, okay, this team, like last night, okay, when I talked to the coach, we really didn't talk much about Mount Horeb, no disrespect, but this was a team we thought should come here. They won by 40 points. Deforest, that was as even a 4 or 5 seed as you're ever going to see.
Oh, yeah.
We tied at halftime. It went right down to a couple plays at the end. And unfortunately for Sauk, Deforest is their demon. Everybody's got a demon. You had one in high school. What was Muskego's?
Oh, well, Nina for bowling, if you ask me, but we won't go there. For basketball, gosh, Franklin got us a lot in the old Southeast Conference. Oak Creek, McGuanago nowadays, those are kind of fun rivals. So, yeah, at Muskego, everybody's got one.
I went to St. Lawrence, Mount Calvary, St. Mary Springs in Fond du Lac.
Yeah, for
sure. Always had our number. So, but when you get to a game like this, for the seniors, this is it. So you want to go out with your best game. Last night, Hartwig went out with her best game for Sauk Prairie, and you've got a few seniors in this lineup here for Deforest, Aspen Kelleher and Jalen Durline, and Mia Kuipers, and then for Monona Grove, just one senior starter, Taylor Moreau, and one off the bench, Delaney Bracken. So this is a pretty young team that we're going to hear a lot from next year as well.
For sure. A couple other games going on around the area tonight. In Division 2, 3-seed Watertown visiting 2-seed Cedarburg, and then 4-seed Grafton on the road against the 1-seed Beaver Dam. Beaver Dam, of course, right at the top of the conference of the Badger East, along with Monona Grove with 14-1 records.
Being a Badger Conference fan, covering them over the years, we like that fact that Beaver Dam might be in another sectional. We had that state championship where it was Monroe against Beaver Dam for the pride of the conference. Beaver Dam prevailed. Well, unfortunately, they're in a sectional with 2-time defending state champ Green Bay Notre Dame. So they got their work cut out for them. They can't worry about it. Are we going to play somebody from the conference? They're just looking game to game. But that is a really tough sectional, too. But we got our locals. And, oh, my God, we got the big guy. I can always tell with certain referees what kind of game it's going to be. And I think this one, they're going to let them play a little bit tonight. It's going to be a fast-paced game.
just by seeing the officials walking into the gym.
Dennis Semrau can say that. I don't know all the names because, again, how good is an officiating crew if you don't know who it was when you walk out, you go, who reffed that game? Mm-hmm. They're not a part of the game. It's all about the kids.
Absolutely.
And we'll see. We'll see tonight.
As a high school official, I can tell you that's the case.
Yeah, getting ready for softball.
Yeah, softball, baseball starting up pretty soon. We might have to get the old gear dusted off and get back out there again.
We're going to get you to a varsity game that I get to cover and get to see the fans.
Write that one up for the weekly paper, Dennis. Division 1 games going on tonight. 5-seed Oregon, 4-seed Sun Prairie West. Sun Prairie West defeating Sun Prairie East last night in a compelling game. Obviously the first playoff game ever for Sun Prairie West girls basketball. They defeat their crosstown rival. Now they get to host Oregon tonight. Winner of that one will move on and play in the sectional semifinal next week. Meanwhile, another compelling game for two teams in the area in Division 1. 6-seed Waunakee is on the road against what I believe is an underseeded 3-seed Verona squad tonight at Verona Area High School. Winner of that one will move on next week, likely to play Arrowhead at Oconomowoc High School in a sectional semifinal.
I really felt sorry for Marcus Flowers and Madison Memorial. They got to play Verona twice during the regular season. So you get the draw, you get them as a playoff draw, and they drill you by 50. I mean, it's just, we saw Verona a couple times during the year. That is just an outstanding team. Taylor Stremlow going to be headed to Iowa in another year. Coach Angie Murphy has put together a team that's got some height inside. They can press. They love the fast-paced game. They can fill it up from outside. And so for a 3-seed, they're playing with a little chip on their shoulders, I'm sure. Angie will take care of that.
Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania exclusively on Wisconsin On Demand, our free video stream of this girls' regional final, Division 2 girls basketball postseason. Jesse Nelson and the Dean, Dennis Semrau. Special thanks to our video producer, Ryan Wollersheim, on hand with us at Monona Grove High School tonight. The 4-seed Deforest Norskies coming off a 57-54 thrilling win last night over Sauk Prairie, taking on the number 1 seed, Monona Grove Silver Eagles. PrepMania brought to you in part by UW Credit Union. Their online online and mobile banking goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. Explore innovative and intuitive ways to manage your money anytime, anywhere. UW Credit Union's in-house team of engineers and developers create digital banking solutions designed just for you. Learn more at uwcu.org. You can check out ESPN Madison's social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and more to find more from this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Keegan Fleischman of Lodi High School. He was featured earlier this week during the studio shows with Alex Strofe and Dennis Semrau on 100.5 ESPN. And you can also go back and find previous UW Credit Union Student Athletes of the Week like Dennis Semrau, Taylor Moreau of the Monona Grove Silver Eagles girls basketball team. Dennis, before we get to our Canopy Wealth Management Keys to Victory, let's talk a little bit about Taylor Moreau as the second leading scorer for the Silver Eagles coming into this game tonight. You mentioned she's one of the lone senior starters in this game for the Silver Eagles. What is it going to take for her to try and help propel the Silver Eagles to the victory tonight and to advance to that sectional semifinal on Thursday?
Well, the first time these teams played, Aubrey Smith actually led MG with 19 points. Taylor, though, nearly had a double-double with 8 points and 10 boards. She's averaging 3 rebounds a game. She's made a team-best 38 three-pointers. She also shoots 70% from the line. So as your one senior starter with 4 juniors, when it's crunch time, the ball's going to be in her hands. Even though she's not the point guard, Carson Nelson is. Moreau is your kind of go-to player, averaging. What's interesting, too, you look at, they have 7 players from Monona Grove between 5 and 10 points. Tortorisi, Brooklyn, the forward guard, 6-foot junior, she leads the team with 10. But on any given night, like last night, the leading scorer was Taylor Moreau. She had 13, but it was pretty balanced. When you look at that Forest team, they've got 4 in double figures, averaging either 10 or 11 a game. So tonight, what's cool about both teams is you never know who that go-to player is going to be. So it's really hard to defend. You can't say we got to shut this down or this. You have to make sure you don't give up open threes. You have to make sure you take care of the basketball. And Taylor's a very good job of doing both.
Let's go ahead and get a check of Dennis Semrau's Canopy Wealth Management Keys to Victory. Canopy Wealth Management believes community is everything, and they're constantly working towards the betterment of our community. That's why they've partnered with Gilda's Club, the Madison Capitals, Kids from Wisconsin, and JDRF. At Canopy, their clients' financial goals are something they're constantly striving to help reach maximum potential, which is why they work solely in your best interest. You define your goals, and they work towards making them happen with their comprehensive financial planning. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with Canopy Wealth Management today. Dennis, let's start with the Norskies on the road looking for the upset. What will it take for Deforest to prevail tonight at Monona Grove?
Well, number one, as we talked earlier, a quick recovery. That was a very physical game against Sauk Prairie last night, so we'll see how the legs are. But Deforest, I thought, did a very good job during that game. They played 9 players, basically, and they really did not give anybody a long time out on the floor. There were a lot of quick breaks. I like to refer to it as the old Tom Davis subsystem. When he was at Iowa, we were at the scores table, you'd blink. It was like every 10 seconds, there were 3 players checking in. Well, that was Deforest last night. They really did a good job of the flow, of mixing up their defenses, and of making sure that, trying to do the best they could to rest their players because they knew Monona Grove was going to have a little bit easier of a game. Number 2 is shoot better at the free throw line. Well, for Jada Keller last night, 2 for 8 in the second half. That's not her. She'll shoot better than that tonight, I'm sure. And then control the pace. Really what Deforest did last night was when they went to the 1-3-1, they picked up the pace a little bit and forced some turnovers from Sauk. And then on the other end, they really like to attack the rim. But you got to know where all those shooters are because all 4 of their starters who are averaging double figures all have made 24 or more threes during the year. So anybody, it's kind of pick your poison when you play them.
Those are the Deforest Norskies, the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, and their Canopy Wealth Management Keys to Victory. Dennis.
Well, again, I just mentioned with the three-pointers, you got to close out and contest all shots, especially from three-point. Try to keep Deforest off that three-point line. Match up on transition defense. And then the last one is take time to read the defense and adjust from there, especially when they last night, Deforest did a good job of flipping between a 2-3 and a 1-3-1, a little bit of man-to-man and then back. And they really kept Sauk guessing in the second half. So Monona Grove is going to have to be quick because last night there were a couple of passes that Sauk thought they could get through, but when the defense switched, now they're not going to get through. So you got to be aware of what the team is doing, trying to stop you.
PrepMania brought to you in part by the GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player. The GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Find the program that fits your training goals and schedule year-round at their state-of-the-art indoor training facility in Windsor. Visit grbacademy.com for more information. We'll step aside from the national anthem, get you with the starting lineups and the opening tip momentarily. We thank you for joining us tonight on our exclusive video stream. Division II Girls Basketball Regional Final. The 4-seed Deforest Norskies, the number 1 seed Monona Grove Silver Eagles. The opening tip is next on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. The local team at Nations Lending believes that everyone has a right to home ownership, especially our educators and school staff. Jesse Nelson here. Another reason I'm proud to have worked with Nations Lending for my home loan is that they're now offering a $500 appraisal credit to any school district employee in Wisconsin. $500 toward an appraisal for any school district employee in the state. Go to nationslendingmadison.com to get started today. Nations Lending, home loans made human. Corporate NMLS unique identifier 32416 to verify mortgage company or individual license. Visit nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Nations Lending is an equal housing lender.
Hey Wisconsin, it's Jonathan Taylor, pro running back and UW Credit Union member. Now that I'm always on the road, I need mobile banking that can keep up. That's why I use the UW Credit Union app. It lets me pay bills, send money to friends, and check my credit score. Whether I'm in Indianapolis or Ixonia, Jersey or Janesville, Miami or Milwaukee, get mobile banking that gets you with UW Credit Union. Join today at uwcu.org.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Big just got even bigger. In our 60th year, Stoughton Trailers has built a lot of trailers, and our customers want more. Our growth means your opportunity. Immediate openings at a starting pay of $18 per hour at our Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, welders, and more. Big trailers, bigger opportunity. Go to stojobs.com. That's STOjobs.com. Disclaimer, our trailers remain the same size.
Win or lose, we're going to walk out of this stadium tonight with our heads held high.
That is amazing. Wow, what a game.
Oh, my.
Unbelievable.
One more for the record books.
Nothing's going to stop us.
At the buzzer, knocks it down.
Pick is up. Yes. He made it. Yes.
Reverse layup is good with 5 seconds left.
Put 6 on my stat. First title in program history.
Being an in-state kid, everything that I wanted in the school was right at home.
Every coach has a toolbox, and every tool is from another coach.
Camaraderie, be able to hang out with each other and be together.
Takes it all the way for the touchdown.
Led by a future Badger.
I'm very excited for this kid because he is brilliant.
What an absolute javelin toss.
He's going to throw a jump pass and complete it for the 2-point conversion to Hawk.
I mean, we can see a lot of offense.
Put the exclamation point on it.
At the buzzer.
Wow.
It's good.
Oh, my goodness.
Do your best.
Thank you so much for all you guys do for high school sports.
Guys, I got goosebumps.
That's all anybody can ask for.
The biggest games, the most compelling stories, the area's best high school sports coverage. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda in Madison today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search vehicle inventory. Starting lineups being introduced on the floor here at Monona Grove High School. Let's introduce them for you for the Deforest Norskies in their road black uniforms. Starting at forward, number 10, Jada Kelleher. At guard, number 11, Aspen Kelleher, Jada's sister. At guard, number 15, Jalen Durline. At guard, number 23, Rylan Oberg. And at forward, number 24, Mia Kuipers. In his 8th season, the DeForest Norskies are coached by Jerry Schwen. For the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, being introduced right now as you see it on Wisconsin On Demand. Starting number 1, junior Brooklyn Tortorisi. Junior number 2, Carson Nelson. Senior number 10, Taylor Moreau. Junior number 22, Aubrey Smith. And junior number 23, Abby Inda. The Monona Grove Silver Eagles are coached in her first season by Bree Murphy. Dennis, I won't disappoint you and make you wait for it tonight like I did last night in the regional semifinal. The magic number for tonight's game, 53. First team to score 53 based on a formula that I know and not many others in this world do. 98% chance to go on and win the game. The magic number has not failed us since 2017. Nearly 6 years since the magic number has let us down. Norskies win the opening tip. Regional final underway on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.
I'll tell you, before I'd be remiss, that has got to be one of the most respectful national anthems I've ever had for high school sports. You could have heard a pin drop as colors left the floor. So congrats to both sides.
And you may not be able to tell entirely as the three is good from the right corner. Jada Kelleher, one of the sisters that are great from beyond the arc. We saw them in action last night. Jada leads the team now with 36 made threes on the season. Her sister Aspen with 32 entering play tonight. The Norskies have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, some bragging rights there on the line.
Retaliation 3, no good for Monona Grove. On the other end, Aubrey Smith, the junior, attempted that shot, and the Norskies will push into the front court. How about another pull-up 3, right side, off the front of the rim, no good. And lost out of bounds, back over to Monona Grove. 1 minute in to this regional final on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania. This is a rematch game, Dennis. Last year, these two teams met in the regional final in Division II, just like they are tonight. Deforest emerged victorious in that game, played last year on 364 days ago, February 26th, 2022. Norskies got a 58-36 win over the Silver Eagles. We'll see if Monona Grove can return the favor this time around or if Deforest can stay hot after the win last night over Sauk Prairie and advance to the sectional semifinals on Thursday. Dribbling across the midcourt stripe is Rylan Oberg. Had a quiet evening last night. Came up with a couple of big defensive plays late for the Norskies in the win. Nice footwork along the baseline by Aspen Kelleher to preserve that ball in play. Found Oberg in the corner. Now Aspen gets it back. Driving into the paint. That one intercepted by Abby Inda, the junior, and she'll make a difference in this game, no doubt, tonight, leading Monona Grove in a whole bunch of different categories, including steals, and the first bucket of the night belongs to her as well. Abby Inda, 2 points. Monona Grove, 2 points. They trail by 1 with 15:55 to play in the first half. Kelleher into the paint, trying to find some help from Mia Kuipers. Also had a quiet evening last night against the Sauk Prairie Eagles. Pull-up jumper good from the right side for Rylan Oberg. Oberg's second leading scorer for the Norskies this year, averaging 11 points a game. Dennis, one of 4 players averaging double figures offensively.
As you saw last night, first shot's a 3, but they're trying to attack the rim, and then on that one they just kicked it out, and it was a nice pull-up shot from the right side.
Had a scrum resulting in a held ball. Possession arrow keeps it with Monona Grove. Silver Eagles to inbound. I don't want to be a jinx, Dennis, but I did find a nugget as we were preparing for this game tonight. Monona Grove is 20-4 on the season. All 4 of their losses have come on Saturdays. It is a Saturday night as we play this girls' regional final off the mark Abby Inda from beyond the arc up at the top of the key, and the Norskies have it coming the other direction with a 5-2 advantage. Step back three, no good for Kelleher, batted around into the hands of Abby Inda. Now MG wants to push forward. There comes Taylor Moreau, shot no good, too strong with a little contact. Thought there might have been a foul called there. Instead now Deforest comes the other way, and LeBlanc by Aubrey Smith the Jr. got a hand in the way to swat that attempted shot out of there. MG basketball, pull up three, Taylor Moreau, no good. And it falls out of bounds to Deforest.
And both teams trying to push the pace a little bit here. Like to play fast. And waiting for the Deforest to pull out that 1-3-1 full court press they had last night. That was the difference maker against Sauk Prairie.
On the right side of the floor, Jalen Durline, the leading scorer on the year for the Norskies, trying a little bit of a no-look pass to the corner, and it falls out of bounds back over to Monona Grove. If you missed it last night, Deforest won 57-54 over Sauk Prairie. We were there. You can go back and watch it on Wisconsin On Demand. Follow ESPN Madison on YouTube, 100.5 ESPN Madison. You can find our full broadcast of that game. The final minute was unlike one I think I've ever seen before. Dennis, you've been around a little longer than I have, so maybe you had something similar that you've seen over the years. But especially for a playoff game, the clock ran just about continuously from about the 45-second mark to the end of the game. Each team had 2 timeouts remaining in a 3-point game, as we have a foul which will send Monona Grove to the free throw line with 13:45 to go in the first half. Last night, Dennis, we saw a steal by Sauk Prairie defensively. They came to the other end of the floor, had 2 or 3 attempted shots that didn't go. Norskies got a rebound with about 5 seconds left. They were able to pass forward and end the game.
Yeah, I talked to the coach today. What they wanted to do was to get a quick basket foul and, keep it a one possession, and they thought they had plenty of time. But they went for the first time they had the ball, when they cut it to 2, they ran a lot of time off the clock. So really, when they missed that first shot toward the end, they should have called a timeout or tried to kick it out to a 3. But the ball bounced around, and then I think Alexis Atkinson got a good look at the basket. Both the last 2 shots were good looks in and out. Nothing they could do on it. And Deforest did the smart thing. They got the rebound and cleared it out to the sideline immediately, so there's no chance to foul or anything. It was one of those where sometimes you got to let the players make plays. If you call a timeout, Deforest could set the defense, and that's what Sauk was counting on. They just couldn't finish on the offensive end.
Abby Inda shot no good, but gets her own rebound. Inda was the one who made 2 free throws at the line a moment ago for the Silver Eagles. 53% free throw shooter on the year, but she knocked them both down to cut the Deforest lead to 1. Just under 13 minutes to play in the first half, and now a drive and a bucket for Carson Nelson, the junior. And MG has its first lead of the night, 6-5 over the Deforest Norskies.
These teams met back on January 24th. And Monona Grove won by 14. I think it's going to be a little closer tonight.
56-42 was the final score of that one back on January 24th. And now here come the big scores. That's Brooklyn Tortorisi, the junior for MG, leading the team with 10 points a game. On the other end of the floor, you saw Jalen Durline averaging 12 points a game, leading Deforest on the season, getting a bucket. This time, it's Aspen Kelleher into the box score. Leapfrogging Deforest back in front, 9-8, as we approach 12 minutes to go in the first half. Count the bucket and a foul. Abby Inda to the line to try and complete a 3-point play. It has been the Abby Inda show, Dennis Semrau, early in this regional final.
Yes, it has. She leads the team in an awful lot of categories. As you mentioned, rebounding and assists. It's almost 7 rebounds and 5 assists a game. And 53% free throw shooter. But she's made all 3 tonight so far.
Completing the 3-point play at the line, Abby Inda extends MG's lead to 11-9.
And she's got 7 of the 11.
And now you see the pressure defense disrupting Deforest last night. Sauk Prairie did a great job of that, but then Deforest returned the favor. So that was definitely problematic for Deforest in last night's game. We'll see how they're able to counter it here this evening. Inbounding in front of their own bench after MG knocked it out, they do get it in cleanly. Coming across midcourt into the game for the first time tonight, Macy Bartles, the senior guard, wearing number 3 in those road black uniforms. Some of the sharpest looking uniforms I think we get to see all year, Dennis. These Norskies road uniforms. I love these. And we're glad that you get to see them on our video stream on Wisconsin On Demand. 3 is no good. Here come the Norskies. It's Bartles into the paint. Finds some help. A little off balance. Abby Armstrong. Yeah, she traveled with it. Did a heck of a job staying with it as she shoved it up toward the glass, and it ended up going in. But unfortunately for Deforest, took one too many steps before she was able to do so. Tight game so far. 11 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first half. Monona Grove with an 11-9 advantage over Deforest. Jesse Nelson, Dennis Semrau, Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania exclusively tonight on Wisconsin On Demand. Here's Tia Justice with the left hand. Too strong, no good. Justice in off the bench, the junior. Norskies with a chance to tie or take the lead. Into the paint. Off balance shot, no good. Rylan Oberg. And a rebound, Monona Grove. Silver Eagles pushing into the paint. Moreau is fouled. And she'll get 2 free throws with 10:42 to play in the first half.
I mentioned Justice injury yesterday. She did not play last night because they didn't need her. Coach rested her. Now she's right back out there right in the mix again. Came into the game averaging 6.8 points, top scorer, and 3.8 rebounds per game. So she's been a pretty integral part of it.
First points of the night for Taylor Moreau, one of our featured UW Credit Union Student Athletes of the Week earlier this season. You can find her entire featured interview with the Dean, Dennis Semrau, available on Wisconsin On Demand and ESPN Madison's YouTube page, 100.5 ESPN Madison, where you can find all of this year's UW Credit Union Student Athletes of the Week. Moreau goes 2 of 2 at the line to extend MG's lead to its largest of the night so far, 13-9, with 10:20 to go in the first half. Left side, Oberg, stripped, and MG takes it away. Into the front court, Justice, double teamed, kicks it back up top, wide open, 3 is too strong. And now the Norskies, baseball pass from sister to sister.
Oh.
That was Jada to Aspen, or correction, Aspen to Jada Kelleher, but she had it swatted out with a big deflection. Brooklyn Tortorisi getting back on the defensive end for Monona Grove to disrupt it.
Yeah, 6 foot, used all 6 feet of her frame to stretch and knock that out of bounds.
The action heating up here on this Saturday evening in the girls' regional final. You always wonder, Dennis, how it's going to be for both of these teams after playing last night.
Yeah, back-to-back games. You try to schedule during the season. You know, you're going to have a lot of back-to-backers in the summertime, but you're trying to do that some scheduling there because you know it's really going to come into play come tournament time.
Top of the key, 3 splashes home for Deforest. Aspen Kelleher knocks it down. Closing in again as they keep track on the fridge. We said that last night on who's got more made threes this season between Jada number 10 and Aspen number 11 in the road black uniforms. Norskies calling their way back into it, but now Taylor Moreau responds with a 3 of her own. MG back up by 4. Taylor Moreau has the last 5 points for the Silver Eagles.
39th made 3, by far the best on the team.
And now a 3 again for Aspen Kelleher, back-to-back. Kelleher sisters love shooting from beyond the arc, and Aspen now closing in on her sister for the season total. I'm sure that's not of the highest priority for them tonight, but something they'll want to keep an eye on, I'm sure, when everything does come to its end.
They probably keep track of who's got the most misses, too.
Well, that's Jada Kelleher with the steal, but now MG takes it right back at midcourt. Tia Justice with the left hand, no good. And now Aspen comes away with the left-handed deflection. She steals it, comes the other way with the scoop, and a foul and a score. I love the playoffs. You get moments like that, the energy. Early in this game, Deforest back on top by 1 with a chance to extend it at the line.
That's 8 straight points for Aspen. 2 3-pointers now trying to make a 3-point the old-fashioned way, a layup and a free throw. And she does, 9 in a row.
Aspen Kelleher taking over. She averages 11 points a game on the season. She's got that right here in the first half. 18-16, Norskies by 2, the 4 seed in this sectional. On the road against the number 1 seed, Monona Grove Silver Eagles.
By the way, that was the second foul for Moreau, the leader for MG. With 8 minutes to go, she gets one more. She'll be done for the half.
Silver Eagles patient on this offensive set, trying to find the open look. And Deforest able to get a hand and deflect it away. I think that was Jada Kelleher on the far left side that was able to disrupt the pass. Norskies up by 2 on the run. Kelleher too strong, no good. And now the other direction. Aubrey Smith has been quiet tonight. She misses, now gets it back up off the glass. No, third chance and a foul.
Or you say it 3rd time's the charm?
Aubrey Smith averaging 8 points a game. She is the 3rd leading scorer on the season for the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. Only Tortorisi and Moreau averaging more per game. Just a 53% free throw shooter, though. She will get 2 to try and tie the game with 7:29 to play in the first half. First free throw is no good. Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania brought to you in part by Stoughton Health. They provide comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton's community and the entire Madison area. From their sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to their renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com. We mentioned Stoughton as the second free throw is good for the first point of the night for Aubrey Smith, the junior in the home whites of the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. Stoughton will be the host site of the sectional semifinal for the winner of this game tonight. MG or Deforest will face either McFarland or Reedsburg. On a Thursday, 3-ball, good from the left corner, Jada Kelleher. She saw her sister hitting a bunch of 3-point shots, said I might as well take one of my own.
That's right.
And the Norskies extend the lead to 21-17. 7 minutes to play in the first half. Deforest upset-minded in this regional final tonight. Tortorisi. Now Inda picks up the dribble, double team, that's trouble. And a held ball. And that gives it to Deforest. Dennis, what's going on with MG here? They seem a little out of sorts offensively.
Well, Deforest has a way of doing that too. You're very athletic. Then again, switching up defenses. And they like to gamble a little bit, and right now overplaying and coming up with some good steals.
Four-point advantage for the 4-seed Norskies on the road. Loose ball, watch out as it goes over the bench and into the crowd. We'll say it was last touched by MG, so it stays on this end.
Yeah, Deforest has got the kind of team that when it comes to all-conference postseason awards, you get different girls getting different votes from people because they all make contributions. It's not just 1 or 2 players that stand out at crunch time. Oh, another block there for Smith.
She deflects it away as Mia Kuipers tried to go up with it. And now the Norskies celebrating on the bench.
Jordan Durline there. Good job. Just it's an alternate possession. The ball stays with MG, but she got the ball back. Now the next arrow goes back to Deforest. So great defensive play there. After MG had one on a block on the other end. Dueling anything you can do, I can do better here. You're going to sing that like Alex does?
I was told not to sing on the radio anymore. I did my grand performance a few weeks ago on Wilde and Tausch. I don't think those who are fans of the sound of silence are too pleased.
Now a couple of turnovers here back and forth. And good call here by Coach Murphy. A little timeout here to settle down the Silver Eagles. They're really picked up the pace that Deforest wants them to play at. And when that happens, you get a little bit out of control. So good timeout for the first-year coach. Spent 3 years at McFarland, so she had a chance. We had a good conversation about Tegan Mulaney, her thoughts, and hoping that they get to play McFarland in the playoffs. She knows them pretty well.
So what's that like,
happens.
Dennis? I want to ask you about it. So Bree Murphy calls the timeout for Monona Grove here with 5:53 to go in the first half. She's in her first season as the head coach here of the Silver Eagles. Anytime you're a first-year head coach, as many games as you've played in or been an assistant for, is it a little more difficult when you have these back-to-backs, this first run through the postseason, and I'm sure feeling a little bit of pressure as the number one seed in this sectional?
Well, an assistant coach, you learn. You hope that the head coach lets give you some input. Talked about somebody about that earlier today with a different sport. But that all these situations, it's a lot different when you're giving advice and then when you have to listen, and now you've got to make that choice. So, but it was a good timeout call there for the new young coach.
Last night we saw timeouts in the second half being exceedingly critical in the Deforest Sauk Prairie game.
In tournament time, they can be so valuable, especially at the end of the game, if you want to be able to stop the clock or make a key adjustment. Another turnover for MG. Too many wasted possessions are open.
Carson Nelson put it on the deck, and Deforest comes away with it. Now spinning in the paint, not on the same page. Jalen Durline. Mia Kuipers, I think, thought that Durline was going to attempt the shot. She was going to collect the rebound if it were to miss. Meanwhile, Durline was trying to find Kuipers cutting to the bucket. The ball goes out of bounds. Three-point attempt, no good. Long rebound, offensively collected by Tia Justice for Monona Grove. With 5 minutes to play in the first half, Silver Eagles down 4. Mid-range jumper, no good. Out of bounds off of Deforest. So it'll stay on this end. Thanks to everybody joining us on our video stream tonight on Wisconsin On Demand, Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. Over 150 strong watching live with us tonight, this girls' regional final. Monona Grove and Deforest. Inbound pass, pull up three, no good for Inda. And the Norskies have it with the lead, but another turnover. And that's now back-to-back trips, Dennis, down the floor that Deforest has thrown it out of bounds.
Monona Grove is playing right now without Moreau. Picked up her second foul. She's got some bench time here. And so they're just trying to keep it close here while she's out of the game. But right now, they might need to get her back in to settle them down a little bit.
MG playing pitch and catch here against the zone defense for the Norskies. See if they can find the open shooter. Tortorisi thought about it on the right side. Instead, swing it back up top for Nelson.
Pretty good.
There they find Tortorisi. Wide open three, no good, off the mark. Long possession, and it stays with the Silver Eagles, preserving it inbounds. Three-point attempt again, no good, and another offensive rebound. Long possession. MG is cold shooting from the field here so far tonight, but the Norskies can't get the ball back all of a sudden.
They missed 4 shots here in the last couple possessions. Got the ball back.
Tortorisi again, no good. Out of bounds off of Deforest. It stays with MG. They'll get a 4th attempt.
Coach went over there. It's going, somebody grab the ball right there. You don't want to tip it around. Just need to be able to, those little 50-50 balls are so important. And right now, MG is winning them, which is what's keeping them in this game.
The never-ending offensive possession for Monona Grove.
Another
the 4th attempt, no good, but now the 4th offensive rebound. Driving in Nelson on the floater, no good, out of bounds, and this time it's last touched by MG. Norski fans rejoice, you got the ball back.
We had 8 missed shots in that sequence. without turning the ball over. They kept coming up with a rebound. Finally, Deforest gets one because goes off of a Silver Eagle player. And a turnover steal.
Kelleher trying to feed it inside. It's stolen away.
Whoa.
And now a little bit of a trip. Avery Tershman, number 11, was taking it the other way for Monona Grove. Fans wanted a foul. They didn't get it. It's just lost out of bounds.
That would have been a pretty good move about a few miles down the road there at the Kohl Center. That was a nice takedown. But no call on it. No harm, no foul. No autopsy, no foul. Like
State wrestling is going on. That's not Dennis calling for Brad Davison to try and tackle somebody. Into the paint and a foul. 2 free throws coming for Monona Grove. So they're cold from the field. Maybe they'll be better suited at the free throw line. Abby Inda, who has been the beacon of offense for MG in this first half, trying to cut DeForest's lead in half. First free throw attempt is good.
I was going to say, time of possession counts in football, not in basketball. You got to do something with it.
Inda misses the second. Norskies get the rebound, up by 3. Oberg hands off for Derline. Leading scorer on the year now finds Aspen Kelleher, who's been the best shooter so far tonight for either team. Kelleher pump fake to get the defender in the air. Cut to the bucket. Couldn't finish it, though. Norskies get an offensive board. Aspen Kelleher on the right wing. Feed it left for Derline. Let's see what DeForest draws up here. A lot of movement away from the ball for this Norski offense.
Neither coach talked about offensive rebounding as a key, but boy, it is big right now.
Oberg thought about the 3 at the top of the key. Instead, she puts it back on the floor, and a poke for a takeaway. Abby Inda, team leader in steals and other categories, helps contribute to another there.
What's your magic number tonight?
Magic number's 53, Dennis. First team to score 53, 98% chance to go on and win. But with 2:10 to go until halftime in a 21-18 game, I'm worried.
We're going to get to 30.
Remember, it doesn't count against the magic number if we don't get to it. That's one of the novelties of the magic number.
Another offensive rebound for Monona Grove. This time, if it was Justice.
Into the paint, trying to find an open player. 3-point attempt is no good for Moreau. And the Norskies get it this time. Oh, look at the deep pass over to the left corner. Norskies trying to push it in a hurry with 100 seconds to go in the first half. Weren't able to get the advantage. Now how about a 3 left side, no good for Derline.
Oh, off a Norski player.
Yeah, that's Macy Bartles who couldn't quite collect it. So back to MG with 1:35 to go in the half, 21-18. Winner gets McFarland or Reedsburg Thursday in Stoughton. Sectional semifinal.
That's where we're going to be on Friday, right?
We will be there for the boys regional semifinal, correct. Likely matchup will be Stoughton as the shot no good, but an offensive board and a putback for Tia Justice, who's been dominating down low in the paint all night. And now they weren't paying attention. DeForest not on the same page. The deep pass from Oberg hit the back of the leg of Jada Kelleher and went out of bounds right in front of the MG bench. So a bad turnover by the Norskies with 1 minute to go. Not the type of mistake that you can afford in the magnitude of a game like this. Carson Nelson playing catch back and forth beyond the 3-point line here with Moreau. Moreau now spins away, 30 seconds to go in the half. Back up top for Nelson. DeForest has led the majority of this first half. Will they be able to hang on for a lead at the break as MG now looks like they'll try and settle for the final shot of the half. 15 seconds to go until the break. Moreau cross court, dangerous pass. How about an open 3 for Moreau? No good. Out of bounds, stays with MG with 6.4 to go.
At this rate, the leading rebounder for MG is going to be the team. A lot of team rebounds. When the ball gets knocked out of bounds, nobody gets credit for it.
Moreau at the buzzer, no good. Tapped around. Well, they got a chance. Nope, Tia Justice couldn't get it off in time. And the Norskies on the road with a 1-point lead at the break. 21-20, the 4 seed in this sectional, Deforest, leads the number 1 seed and the 4th-ranked team in Division II in the state, Monona Grove, 21-20. Dennis Semrau, before we step aside for a timeout, your first half thoughts on this girls basketball Division II regional final, a tight one.
No matter who loses this one, they're going to be looking back saying a lot of wasted opportunities on both ends. I've never seen so many offensive rebounds for one team and missed shots. 8 in that one possession we had. So MG hung around, especially when Moreau picked up her second foul. They were able to get her off and then keep that within about a 4-point deficit. And unfortunately, they could not get a shot here to take the lead at halftime. But just like last night, 28-28, 21-20.
Last year, Deforest beat Monona Grove in the regional final, looking to make it 2 straight years if they can succeed in doing so tonight. 21-20. Norskies lead the Silver Eagles at the break. We'll be back for the second half in just a few moments on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on Wisconsin On Demand. For My Home Loan is that they're now offering a $500 appraisal credit to any school district employee in Wisconsin. $500 toward an appraisal for any school district employee in the state. Go to nationslendingmadison.com to get started today. Nations Lending, home loans made human. Corporate NMLS unique identifier 32416 to verify mortgage company or individual license. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Nations Lending is an equal housing lender. Jesse Nelson, Dennis Semrau at Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on 100.5 ESPN and the exclusive live video stream on Wisconsin On Demand. A tight game in this Division II girls basketball regional final as the 4-seed Deforest Norskies hold a 21-20 one-point advantage on the road over the number 1 seed Monona Grove Silver Eagles. For nearly 50 years, Zimbrick Honda has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles, and the trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda in Madison today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search vehicle inventory.
Okay.
What are you looking at Twitter for, Dennis? Don't you know we got a basketball game going on
I'm
here?
looking for some scores. And Tausch tweets, my daughter is dipping her French fries in ice cream and says it's fantastic. How long has this been going on? So you'll be something for you to talk about Monday morning.
Are you a French fry ice cream dipper or no?
No. Cheese sauce, ketchup, a little ranch sometimes, maybe barbecue sauce. Ice cream, nope, never done it.
Ketchup's got to be the number one in my
number one, yeah.
French fry dipping
we
power
rankings. The franchise on cranberries and ketchup in our house.
Although, my wife would say ranch. No doubt she would say ranch number one.
That's my wife's favorite, actually, too.
Well, okay. Enough about French fries. We can celebrate with fries after the game, Dennis. Head over to the Silver Eagle or something
Willie and Tausch Monday. Ask Tausch about it.
9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN and on Wisconsin On Demand. You know it. But, Dennis, last year, DeForest and Monona Grove met in the regional final. The Norskies prevailed with a 58-36 win to advance where they fell to Reedsburg in the sectional semifinal. What's going to help Monona Grove avoid that same fate, losing in the regional final here at home to DeForest for a second straight year? They're down by 1 at the half.
Find somebody who can dunk the basketball, because right now they can't throw one in from the, sitting in a boat with Al McGuire, the famous player, I think it was DePaul's coach Ray Meyer, said one of their players couldn't hit water sitting in a boat. And then so the next day Al had him out in a boat on Lake Michigan with a basketball shooting it. So I'm thinking of Monona Grove. 8 shots on 1 possession. They kept getting offensive boards and team rebounds. Could not put the ball in the basket. And they're down by 1. All you got to do is make a couple, get inside, use the glass. And right now they've been basically shooting a lot of perimeter shots. They got to get the ball in the paint and take advantage of it's not that tall of a team for DeForest. They've got 4 or 5, 10 players on their roster. What we saw last night, they're pretty athletic. And when they switch back and forth between that 1-3-1 and 2-3 zone, they're forcing them to heave it from the cheap seats. And right now, it's not working for the Silver Eagles. So get the ball in the paint in the second half and get a couple of layups. They've also 7 of 9 from the free throw line, which is hard to believe with as many outside shots as they've taken. On the other side, DeForest, same thing. They've taken a lot of threes. They're 1 for 1 from the line. But just like we saw last night, an 8-3 advantage for three-pointers, they've got 4 to MG's 1 tonight. Might be the difference. 3 points, and they're up by 1.
So there's nothing that you can say at halftime if you're head coach Bree Murphy.
The ball's not going to go in the basket sometimes. You just got to do all the other things. Take care of the basketball, look for good shots, but don't get frustrated, because there's days there's a cover on it, or the ball's a lot bigger than what the hoop is. You can't force it through. So just be patient, work the ball inside.
Monona Grove certainly hopes that trend doesn't continue here in the second half with the season on the line in the regional final. It's Norski basketball to begin the final 18 minutes of the season for one of these teams. Norski's looking for the upset on the road over the number 1 seed in this regional. Ball goes out of bounds.
A missed three-pointer for DeForest, and who gets the team rebound? This time it's the Norskies.
Tough spot to inbound from the far corner. Aspen Kelleher is able to get it in to the top of the key. Oberg into the paint. She's been quiet again tonight offensively. Out of control, no good, but tracking it down, Mia Kuipers maintains possession for Deforest, leading by 1. Driving left. Derline was looking for contact with a whistle, didn't get it, and now MG throws it too far out in front of Brooklyn Tortorisi. And if you want to point to one player, Dennis, that I think, I'm not pointing any blame by any means, but just an uncharacteristic shooting night, Brooklyn Tortorisi averages 10 points a game to lead Monona Grove scoring this season per game. She's only got 2 points in the first half.
Right, but she has taken a lot of shots. On that last one, we just saw a nice block by Aubrey Smith, and then MG turns it over coming down. But 2 offensive boards here for DeForest early in the second half.
Kelleher lost control of the basketball, saved by Tortorisi into the hands of Tia Justice, and now MG has possession. 1 minute in to the second half, 21-20 remains the score, and now contact drawn. Silver Eagles to the free throw line. Abby Inda, where she has had a successful night thus far.
And again, she's the one that's been taking the ball inside, 4 of 5 from the line in the first half. And first foul here in the second half for DeForest.
Inda with 2 free throws. This one would tie it, and it rattles out, no good. 53% free throw shooter on the season, Abby Inda. She is the leading scorer for MG in this game with 8 in the first half, now 9. Ties it at 21. And that eclipses what Abby Inda averages scoring per game. She came in averaging 8 points. Now with 9. And out of control, DeForest can't get a bucket for Oberg. Other direction, Inda trying to drive inside, had it knocked out of bounds.
Another team rebound for the offense. I've never seen so many in a game.
Tortorisi gets the inbound pass in the corner. Now Moreau coming off the screen, tried to set up for 3, but lost control of the basketball. MG maintains possession at the free throw line, driving in. Inda ran out of real estate, so now back up top. Nelson pull up for 3, halfway out, no good. A rebound to Forrest, and here come the Norskies again. That cap still on the bucket, it would appear, for Monona Grove, and now the Norskies turn it over. That's happened one too many times, I think, for Coach Jerry Schwen and his Norskies this evening. A lot of errant passes, especially in the last 4 minutes or so of that first half. Dennis, could that be fatigue from playing last night with the high-intensity game they had at home against Sauk Prairie?
Yeah, it can be a little bit. You've seen some of those passes reaching where the player just can't quite get to it. This is also where you've got to make sure you're coming to the passer, not waiting for the ball to get to you. That's a sign of fatigue.
Tortorisi on the run, gives MG the lead.
A little floater, nice shot there. Comes off the schneid.
Brooklyn Tortorisi, 10 points a game. She averages shooting 41% from the field on the year. Uncharacteristically low productive night so far, but she's done just enough to give MG the lead, and now the basketball. 3-point attempt off the mark, no good for Avery Tershman. Loose ball. Norskies have it. Jada Kelleher, all the way on the far end of the floor, was calling for it from her sister Aspen, but she was fouled prior to being able to deliver that half-court pass.
Another long rebound there. It looked like Monona Grove was going to come up with it, but DeForest able to tip it out and then draw a foul. And that's the first foul on Jordan Derline. I take it back. That was number 2. That was Nelson, her first foul.
Jada Kelleher, 3-point attempt from the left corner is no good, and now a whistle on Rylan Oberg over pursuing the dribbler Nelson in the backcourt.
She picks up her second. Fouls weren't a problem in the first half, just 7 total between the teams, but as things start to tighten up a little bit and somebody's season could be ending, it's going to get a little bit more physical. A few more turnovers, too.
Here's a steal. Jada Kelleher with the layup to tie the game. Intercepted the pass, took it the distance for 2.
Great anticipation there, and then used the glass, went in Nothing fancy. Take that fast break layup.
Tied again at 23. 14 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this Division II Girls Regional Final. Winner to the sectional Thursday night at Stoughton. They'll play the winner of McFarland and Reedsburg. 3-point attempt, no good. Way off for Taylor Moreau. And a loose ball comes to DeForest. And, yeah, that was a little ugly.
A little tackle there. Wasn't intentional. Just another girl player went down, and DeForest player tripped over her.
Yeah, that's Carson Nelson who was on the ground. That's a tough break foul for Carson Nelson. Wasn't even trying to really get in on the play at all. And
she's just trying to get out of the way when she hit the floor. Her second foul here in less than a minute.
Norskies looking for the lead as we approach 14 minutes to go. Reverse layup. Macy Bartles couldn't control it well enough, and MG gets it. Into the front court, Tortorisi one-on-one, into the paint with contact. Shot no good, but Tortorisi will shoot 2 free throws. And maybe that's a spark that'll help her get back in the point column here in the box score in this second half.
And again, like the way that they're going going to the rim. Too many outside shots, drawing nothing but iron, so got to get it inside, and they did.
Tortorisi is a good free throw shooter, 70% on the year. Her and Taylor Moreau, 2 of the best free throw shooters on the MG team. Connects on the first to give the Silver Eagles the lead, and now knocks down the second for good measure. Tortorisi with 6 points, and she takes a seat on the bench. Catch her breath, knowing, I'm sure, Coach Bree Murphy thinking Tortorisi's going to be a pivotal player down the stretch in this game. Get her some rest while she can before the intensity picks up at the midway point of this half. 13:45 to go in the game. 2-point advantage for the Silver Eagles. This time, Allie Armstrong couldn't connect underneath the bucket. MG comes away with it. And Nelson driving, draws contact. Was that a shooting foul is the question. They'll say no, it was before the act.
You talked about fatigue. Yeah, we've seen it the last couple trips down for DeForest, trying to get the ball inside, coming up short, using the glass, and just not elevating enough for those shots.
Inbound comes in for the Silver Eagles. Now Moreau has it in the corner. Resets the offense up top. Playing catch with Tershman. Tershman 11, Moreau 10. Now they get Carson Nelson, number 2, involved on the left side. Just trying to find the opening against the zone. Moreau liked it enough to take the 3, no good. It was a good look, and it actually almost went down. But theme of the night for MG. Now Nelson double teaming with Tershman in the backcourt. Thought they had a clean steal. Student section right in front of us frustrated with the call. It'll stay with the Norskies, and it's the 3rd personal foul now on Carson Nelson, the junior.
All in this half.
Tortorisi checks back in. She was only out of the game for about 40 seconds.
Both teams normally go about 9 players deep, so a lot of quick, almost like shifts in hockey. Get them out there, get them off, get a little breather, get them back on the court.
Durline battling down on the block, tried to feed it for Aspen Kelleher in the corner, wasn't expecting the pass, and another pass that goes out of bounds for DeForest. Monona Grove by 2 with 12:45 to go. Jesse Nelson, Dennis Semrau, Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on Wisconsin On Demand. Tortorisi for 3, missed everything. And just when you think maybe the trip to the free throw line is going to help her.
We had a good advantage of that one. You could see that was wide right. Didn't square up properly on that one. Just kind of rushed her shot a little bit.
Offensive productivity significantly down for both teams tonight. Aspen Kelleher doing her part, though. 3rd made 3 of the night for the senior guard for the Norskies. DeForest back up by 1 after the made shot by Kelleher. And now a whistle.
Did we get a timeout here?
I think we did. DeForest celebratory as they come off the bench with 12:07 to play in the game, as the Norskies hold a 1-point advantage.
Timeout for MG on that one.
Good defense by DeForest to get in the way of it. Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania presented in part by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers, big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers in their 60th year. Stoughton Trailers has built a lot of trailers and their customers want more. Join a winning team. Immediate openings at new higher pay rates on both first and second shift at their Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, welders, and more. Go to stojobs.com. That's STOjobs.com. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity. Dennis, last night Monona Grove got to rest a lot of the starters in a 62-20 win over the 8th seed Mount Horeb. What's going on here? Why are they so out of sync? It makes sense that Deforest might be with a little rust from a night ago, playing all the starters to the finish line.
Well, Deforest has a lot to do with that. Again, we saw that with Sauk Prairie last night. Defensively, Coach Jerry Swin, that's what he's built his program on, and creating on that end, and then just sharing the ball on offense. No one player scoring. They get a lot of offense created off their defense, and tonight they just can't finish in some of their inside shots.
Fans once again expressing their frustration as Abby Inda is called for a foul on what those wearing blue in this gym tonight thought was a clean block. And instead, Allie Armstrong goes to the free throw line for the Norskies. 11:46 to go.
Just the second trip to the free throw line for the Norskies tonight.
Second attempt, halfway down and pops out, no good. Who put the carnival rings in here to Monona Grove tonight?
I was thinking the same thing. Just cannot buy a basket here.
Tortorisi for three. Halfway down and out, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul on Deforest. And now we'll start to keep track of the foul situation with 11 and a half to play. That's the 5th team foul on Deforest, so they only have one more to give before MG starts shooting free throws. And that might be the new key to victory here, presented by Canopy Wealth Management for Monona Grove.
Yeah, they've spread them out pretty well, all 9 players with a foul, at least one foul for Deforest.
Inda took a quick inbound pass and went up with it, no good, and now a frustration foul on Inda. She didn't like the call. I thought it was a pretty clear foul. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to be inbounding underneath here. Oh, they're going to say held ball? Wow. I can't believe that.
Yep, thought that was a foul call.
Well, my mistake. Instead, MG gets the basketball back. Tortorisi on the left side. She's missed a couple of times from beyond the arc. Kick it out for Moreau right. This zone defense for Deforest, MG just hasn't been fast enough to work their way out of it.
Yeah, back to a 2-3 here. Again, a lot of changes. They don't stay in it very long. They'll get back to a 1-3-1, and then all of a sudden it'll be full court pressure. And here, unforced error. Here it's just empty possession. MG can't afford those, the way they've been shooting the ball tonight.
11 minutes to play. 1-point game in the girls' regional final. The 4 seed Deforest giving the number 1 seed Monona Grove all they can handle here at Monona Grove High School. Jesse Nelson, Dennis Semrau, Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania on Wisconsin On Demand. Winner will face McFarland or Reedsburg at Stoughton High School Thursday night.
Good ball movement here for Deforest.
And the three ball goes down. Rylan Oberg hit the back of the rim, the front of the rim, sat, and then finished. And the Norskies are back up by 4. Muscling up. That shot goes for Aubrey Smith. Much needed retaliation. 2 points for MG. 3-point attempt now is good for Deforest. Jalen Durline, first made 3 this evening. She's the leading scorer on the year for the Norskies, averaging 12 points a game, only 5 points tonight. But with points at a premium, that is a big bucket to give Deforest a 5-point advantage. And the way this game's been going, you can almost double any lead, and it feels like a lot more with how difficult it's been to find points. Third time's a charm on a putback. Tia Justice for Monona Grove. Now they're starting to make some baskets. 32-29. Norskies starting to feel a little hotter now shooting. It's number 10, Jada Kelleher. to her sister Aspen, double teamed on the sideline. Aspen works through it, trying to find someone open. She had Derline in the corner who was calling for it. Now on the run, no good for Oberg. Rebound MG, a three would tie it with 9:15 to play in the game. Moreau looking for the answer and knocks it down to tie the game at 32. Quick bucket the other way, Jalen Derline. Tortorisi's response quickly no good. Now the intensity has picked up significantly at the midway point of the second half. Feed it. Derline up and good with the left hand. 36-32, Norskies by 4, looking for the upset on the road with 8:39 to play.
This is where Deforest does their damage, creating turnovers and then beating down the court. They got behind the defense there a couple of times for MG. And that's a little burst of energy now. You're getting that maybe adrenaline rush here. You don't worry about the legs. You don't worry about anything else. And being able to finish there, Derline back-to-back fast break layups. Huge now that she's come on with 7 points in this surge here. And Deforest now with a good timeout call here by MG. We down by 6 or 4 point lead. Boy, we got a lot of basketball left here yet.
Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. For nearly 50 years, Zimbrick Honda's provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles, and the trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a newer used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search vehicle inventory. Monona Grove has only lost one game at home this year. It was earlier this month in a non-conference game, 61-57 on February 4th. Wauwatosa East defeated MG. And I mentioned earlier, all 4 losses this year, if you're into superstitions, for the Silver Eagles have come on Saturdays. Here they are in this regional final on a Saturday night facing an uphill battle with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 36-32, Deforest on top. Out of the timeout, let's see what Coach Bree Murphy drew up for her Silver Eagles. Nelson, Tershman, Tortorisi at the free throw line. Good defense by Deforest. Swing it for Moreau. They try the extra pass there. No, nothing doing. Just not a lot of movement away from the ball for MG right now. It's just the same couple of players on the wings running back and forth.
Trying to figure out how to attack this 2-3. Run some players through. You've got an offense against the zone, but sometimes you just don't run it well. Everybody's got to be moving.
Drive, right side, Nelson. It was a long possession, but it paid off. Carson Nelson with the bucket to cut the Norskies' lead in half with 7:30 to go. On the other end, shot no good, contested on the left side for Derline. MG with a chance to tie or take the lead. Nelson, pump fake to Tershman, now Moreau right side. To Tortorisi with the quick pass inside, but Tortorisi is covered quickly and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Norskies.
It's a problem when you get trying to get into the zone, the teeth of it. You put the ball on the floor, everybody collapses. It was a 1-on-4 there. She's lucky that they were able to maintain possession. Ball got knocked out of bounds by Deforest.
Moreau does the inbounding, and she'll throw it all the way back near the midcourt line for Carson Nelson. Not a huge contingency of Deforest Norski students that have made the trip here, but those who did, cheering on their team fervently, especially during that last defensive stand. Now they have something more to cheer about as MG comes up empty-handed. Norski's on the run the other way, and a foul will send Allie Armstrong back to the free throw line. With 6:33 to go, 36-34, and the Norskies looking to extend it to a 2-possession lead.
Always important when you're looking for those threes to touch the post. This time they found Armstrong isolator 1-on-1 in the low left post. and we're right up and drew the foul.
First free throw is good.
And that is Moreau's third foul, by the way, for MG.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. Moreau and Nelson both with 3 fouls apiece. Both Deforest and Monona Grove with 5 team fouls here in this half with 6:33 to go. So each team with 1 to give. Second free throw goes down for Armstrong. 4-point lead, and Monona Grove just threw it away. Out of bounds, back to Deforest with 6.5 to go. Low scoring night for both of these teams. Monona Grove averaging 61 points a game offensively this year. Deforest not far behind at 58.
Whoa, what a scoop.
That was great. Aspen Kelleher. Sometimes it's that easy. 6-point lead for Deforest. I believe that's the largest of the night.
They call her Scoop.
Moreau for 3. When in doubt, go to the senior leader. A UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week earlier this season on PrepMania. Taylor Moreau cuts Deforest's lead back down to 3. Armstrong, wide open at the top of the key, no good. And Moreau rebounds. 5:45 to go, 40-37. What a game. Back-to-back nights. Thrillers for the Deforest Norskies.
Every possession now becomes important. The collar's tightening up a little bit here.
3 to tie it is good. Danielle Becker, the freshman. 40 all with 5:15 to play. And that brings this Monona Grove crowd to life. 3-point attempt for Derline is no good. It's kept in bounds not once but twice by Deforest. Unfortunately for the Norskies, nobody there except a bunch of white jerseys for Monona Grove. The 3 for the lead, too strong off the back of the rim. Offensive board, Tia Justice, kick it out. Another wide open 3 for the freshman, Danielle Becker. She tied it, and now she gives the Silver Eagles a 3-point advantage with 4:32 to go in the game. You never know where the heroics will come from in the postseason. Not the senior Taylor Moreau, the freshman Danielle Becker.
And Becker averaging just under 3 points a game, doubled her scoring average on 2 possessions here, back to back. Beautiful. That's ice in your veins here right now. Regional final game, and it's being confident in your shot as well. Both those were good possession. I think Three's got good momentum. Didn't force it.
So what's Jerry Schwen telling his Norskies now in the huddle? They just had the 6-point lead, and it evaporated just like that.
They're doing a good job of keeping them on Monona Grove off the 3, and now they've got 4 in the second half. And 3, we got 7 threes right now that's what it's going to come down to. Somebody's making a 3-pointer at the end. A 7-4 3-pointers, the edge to Deforest, but now it doesn't look like anybody's legs are tired here. I think both teams got a little bit of adrenaline rush. It's a good timeout there for Coach Schwen. Full timeout, kind of set things going. And right now they need to get the ball inside and get that lead back.
It really felt like the intensity in this game picked up around the 9-minute mark of this second half. You saw the speed going up and down the floor for both teams a little bit more.
3-second call. Yep, there it is.
There it is. You're right, Dennis.
Got trapped in the lane. He's looking at John Fullerton, the official in the half court. He was counting. He knew it no matter way.
That's a tough break for Deforest coming out of the timeout. Momentum with the Silver Eagles up by 3 with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Batted pass into the hands of Becker, who was feeling the heat check was an air ball, and it's out of bounds. Back to the Norskies.
A 9-2 run right now for Monona Grove, thanks to those back-to-back threes by Becker. But now with empty possession here, just when you were trying to build that lead, get it to a two possession. Now with a 3, Deforest is right back in it.
4 minutes to play. Division II regional final. The 4-seed Deforest Norskies, the 1-seed Monona Grove Silver Eagles. 3-ball no good for Rylan Oberg from the right wing, and Monona Grove has it.
What they say, live by the 3, die by the 3. That was a little bit early in the shot, in the possession there, I think, for a 3.
Becker wanted another attempt at a 3, got the defender in the air, but a good job by Oberg recovering.
This is where the Norskies now are going to counter their defense, try to come up with some steals back to their 2-3 zone. And MG don't have to force it now.
And Moreau was in no hurry there. And a held ball, and the arrow gives it to Deforest. That is a great defensive play. Moreau, I thought, was a little too confident just standing with it, kind of tucked it under her arm, baiting the Norski defense to come and get it, and they did just that.
Yeah, double team, and then she had nowhere to go with the ball.
3:15 to go, 43-40, MG up by 3. Durline driving in, bounce pass stolen away by Taylor Moreau. Another big play from the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Give it up and get it back. Good job by the senior.
Tortorisi for Becker. Becker double teamed, and a timeout from the bench as the freshman was running out of real estate. 2:46 to go. 43-40. Monona Grove on top by 3. Winner of this game gets the winner of McFarland and Reedsburg Thursday night at Stoughton High School in the sectional semifinal. A lot at stake here. MG, the 4th-ranked team in the AP poll at the end of the season. In Division II, Deforest coming off of a tight win last night, 57-54 over Sauk Prairie in a game you watched on Wisconsin On Demand. Eagles stole it with 30 seconds left, had a couple of chances to try and pull within 1 or tie the game, were unsuccessful against the Norski defense. And Deforest earned a berth in this regional final game tonight. Dennis, what's the message from Coach Bree Murphy for her Silver Eagles right now with this 3-point lead?
Take care of the ball. You got to lead. You don't want to just go into your shell and not try to score, but you don't need any wild threes. You're looking for layups and free throws, trying to get to the line and put some pressure on Deforest, because as that clock ticks down, now they're going to start to panic a little bit. They're going to have to gamble. But I like Deforest defense. We saw that last night. I mean, the athletic, and Coach Schwen does a good job of switching things up on it. And one of the keys for MG was recognizing what they're in. And right now we got a 1-3-1 again for Deforest, trying to trap the ball in the wings.
One note, Abby Inda, who was a beacon of offense for the Silver Eagles early in this game, is on the bench with her head in her hands. Appears to be battling through something. I'm not sure what, but she is not in this game right now. And you called it, Dennis. The Deforest defense gets a hand in the way, knock it off a Silver Eagle defender, and it's Norski basketball with 2.5 to go, and a drive and a whistle.
Well, called it on the floor.
That is the last foul to give for Monona Grove, so at least they spend it wisely, not in the act of shooting. And it goes against Becker, her first. Norskies 18-7 overall on the season. Monona Grove 20-4. Another whistle will send Deforest to the free throw line this time.
There's your senior Jalen Durline taking the ball to the basket twice and drawing 2 fouls. This time it'll be a shooting foul.
Durline, a recruit of UW Parkside, all Badger East first team. Leading scorer on the season for the Norskies, averaging 12 points a game. Durline's first free throw is no good. And this is where you start to wonder. You played 36 minutes last night of high-intensity basketball in a 3-point game. You're on the floor a bunch in another close one tonight. And your best player just missed 2 free throws, but an offensive board for Kelleher. Derline for 3 in the tie, no good. Batted around, last touched by Deforest. Oberg tried to save it, but it's Silver Eagle basketball with 2:11 to go.
Still a one-possession game, 3-point deficit here. And we're back to that 1-3-1 again, the trap. See if they can create it. Norskies can create another turnover here.
Carson Nelson for Moreau across midcourt. Moreau picks up the dribble. That's a tough spot to be. Moreau calls for timeout and gets it from the bench. And that's, Dennis, how you said, all those timeouts that you saved for the second half in these postseason games, how critical each one is. Monona Grove takes their penultimate timeout, 1 remaining, with 1:56 to go in the game. I think that was a good decision.
Right, and it's fortunate it was right in front of their bench. The referees are there so the coach can get that timeout in quickly. If it's on the other side of the court and they don't see her, maybe DeForest comes up with a steal on that play.
So we asked the same question last night, Dennis, for Sauk Prairie. At what point do you start fouling versus trying to make MG run the offense?
Still a one by. You still gamble on the defense. It's not a fire situation where you fire and everybody's got to foul intentionally. Right now, you're just trying to be real aggressive, overplay the passing lanes, and see if you can force a turnover. Back again to the 1-3-1 trap, which has worked out so well.
Moreau, number 10, and Tortorisi, number 1 in white, are the best free throw shooters for Monona Grove.
As you try to get the ball inside, knocked away. Now on the floor again. Here we go.
Moreau battling.
Alternate possession.
Held ball.
Stays with MG.
Yeah. It's a break for the Silver Eagles with 1:38 to go. Good defense for the Norskies, causing chaos.
You're always in games when you play defense, and that's what Coach Schwen is taking a lot of pride in with his Norskies. So he's going to count on that defense and not have to foul and then give MG a chance to extend that lead.
Carson Nelson in a tough spot near midcourt, able to find some help from the freshman Becker in the corner.
Another timeout.
And that is the last timeout called for Monona Grove. With Becker had the ball in her hands in the corner, double teamed with 1:25 to go. I thought DeForest would be all over Becker, trying to foul the freshman and send her to the line. Becker has the last 2 made shots in this game. The freshman tied it with a 3 for Monona Grove, and then came right down the floor and then hit the go-ahead 3 a few moments ago. Now 1:25, MG out of timeouts. DeForest still has 3, and they also have 1 foul still to give, which at this situation, as you start to work with the clock under 90 seconds to go, that could work against DeForest.
It can, but now you can afford to gamble on it. Here's where you can try to come up with a steal. If you foul, okay, well, that's the one that we have. What you don't want to do is play passively on defense and let them run time. You want to make Monona Grove have to make decisions, have to pass, and have to get the ball out of their senior point guard's hands.
Monona Grove has only lost 1 game this season in their home gym.
Yep.
It was back on February 4th. Monona Grove defeated DeForest on January 24th by 14. A much different story in this regional final tonight. Moreau with it out of the timeout. Now Carson Nelson batted out of bounds by Aspen Kelleher. Gosh, the Norskies are so good at just sticking their hands out and getting in the way of passes. We saw it last night, too.
Hands up on defense. That's a basic principle. And here's now a turnover.
Moreau, it's a held ball. DeForest gets it. That was a difficult spot for Moreau to field that right in the middle of a couple Norski defenders.
Double teamed by the sisters. They'll argue over who gets the steal on that one. They both were on the play.
Dribbling behind the back, now going all the way. Oberg lays it in, good for 2. It's a 1-point game with 1 minute to go. When do you foul? Who do you foul? If you even do. Inside, Justice fouled in the act of shooting. Tia Justice, the junior, will shoot 2 free throws with 48 seconds left.
Be her first trip to the free throw line tonight. And just a 39% shooter. Hasn't attempted that many during the season, though.
And Deforest, remember, with 3 timeouts remaining as opposed to Monona Grove, who has used them all up.
And they'll use one right there.
And I thought that might happen. Jerry Schwen wanting to potentially ice Tia Justice at the line, but also talk to his team about what they wanted to. Remember last night, Deforest and Sauk Prairie played out the final. It was about the same range, about 50 seconds left in the game. They just let it ride. Sauk Prairie had a couple of missed shots. DeForest got a rebound, threw it out in front. They had timeouts left. They decided, let's just roll, and ended up, Norskies won the game.
And that's what he's talking about right now. It's if they miss, you want to push the ball up there and get it in the paint. Don't need a 3. You just need a 2-point here. So you want to try to get to the free throw line, if nothing else. So you want to push it. And then what are we going to do on defense coming back? Because you don't want to have to call a timeout. Again, now, Monona Grove's going to be able to, hopefully they set up their defense here depending on if it's a made or a miss. But yeah, the coaches are thinking 1 or 2, 3 sequences ahead. They don't need a timeout to know what's going on. Problem is you're dealing with 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds that, hey, the pros have problems with it. So kids make mistakes and in panicking situations. But, you're trying to cover all you can in a 1-minute timeout. But eventually you got to point 1 or 2 things that we got to do well. And right now it's blocking out. If she misses, do not want the shooter and MG to get another offensive rebound.
Second free throw for Justice. Banks in. 44-42. It's a 2-point game. 45 seconds left. Norskies into the front court.
A good pressure man-to-man here for Monona Grove.
35 seconds. Pump fake. Kelleher, right side. Scoop, no good. Nelson the rebound. 25 seconds and the foul from behind. Committed by Jada Kelleher. 1 and 1 at the free throw line. Keep that in mind.
Again here you got to worry about blocking out here.
Front end is no good. DeForest trying to get the rebound. Held ball. Monona Grove gets possession. That's disastrous for the Norskies. And with 2 timeouts, they could have tried and called one quickly. I'm not sure they had secure enough possession to do so, though. Justice gets open on the inbound pass, dribbling out near midcourt with 20 seconds. Oh, no! They stole it away! Durline in the front court, fouled with 14.6 to go. Durline stole it away. And now the leading scorer on the year for DeForest will shoot 2 free throws to try and tie the game in the regional final with 14 seconds left.
Norski defense once again coming up with it big time.
This is what the playoffs are all about.
And Monona Grove has no timeouts left now to call a play.
Durline missed it. Offensive board. Kelleher gives the Norskies the lead. 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Nelson right side out of bounds. It'll stay MG ball with 4 to play. Aspen Kelleher got the putback bucket to give DeForest the lead. Monona Grove will inbound beneath their own basket. No timeouts left. They can't draw up a play.
We talked about earlier about offensive rebounds, the biggest one of the night for the Norskies.
Moreau will inbound. Gets it in. Spin move on the block. No. Put back at the buzzer. Aubrey Smith wins it for Monona Grove.
They were trying to call a timeout. The Force was trying to call a timeout. And we'll see if officials are going to get together here if there is any time left on the clock.
I think they are. I think they are going to put time back on. Yeah, they're escorting the students who are starting to storm the floor off of it. Coach Murphy calling her players back. There's going to be time left in this game.
Unlike college where you can you call a timeout, you can advance the ball to half court. That's not a high school rule, so they got to go full court. 1.3 seconds left. Basically, that's a long pass, a catch, and a shot. No real time to dribble the ball, though. You put it down 1, you're not going to get a shot off in time.
1.3 on the clock as Deforest called the timeout when it went in.
Here's where you need a Brad Davis and a quarterback in your football team that can throw the ball the length of the court. And I'm sure this is something that Coach Schwinn has worked on. That's one of the things when I was coaching youth we had a lot of fun with. We'd always take a practice and try to come up with specialty plays, situations like this. Okay, who can throw the ball from one end of the court to the other? Who can catch it? That's the other point. Catch and turn around and shoot.
So, okay, you got to collect yourself after you thought that Monona Grove just won the game. Aubrey Smith thought she had a buzzer beater. Instead, there is 1.3 on the game clock.
And that timeout, now that gives MG a chance to set their defense for them to calm. And you do not want to foul in this situation either.
Aspen Kelleher will inbound. Heaves it deep to her sister. Not enough time. It's no good. Monona Grove wins. A thriller of a regional final.
Incredible. It looked like she had a little bit more time. Wasn't sure if time. She put the ball on the floor. But the good defense from Monona Grove made her come up a little bit short. She didn't quite get the ball up on the backboard enough to be able to bank it in. And MG hangs on for dear life. And it comes down to offensive rebounding. We talked about that sequence earlier where they missed 8 shots. Well, here you miss one and you put it back in. I don't think the coach is ever going to have to say offensive rebounding is important to the girls. All she's got to do is use this tape for future teams. That was a tremendous play right there at the end.
What a game. Back and forth. Heroes abound. And in the end, Aubrey Smith of Monona Grove gets the game-winning basket with 1.3 left to send the Silver Eagles to the sectional semifinal on Thursday.
Oh, heartbreaker for Deforest. They pulled one out last night. Tonight, not quite able to do it. But the way they played defense down the stretch really kept them in this game and gave them some opportunities. They were able to create turnovers, but missed a couple of free throws down the stretch and just were not able to get that last basket. And again, with Sauk last night not finishing, you need to finish those layups, and Deforest not able to do it right at the end. So Coach Murphy, first year going to the sectionals, not a bad deal on their own court. Wow.
Monona Grove gets the revenge they wanted after losing in the regional final to Deforest last year. The Silver Eagles advance. They will play Thursday night at Stoughton High School against the winner of McFarland and Reedsburg. Dennis, as we see the celebration happening here, they're going to cut down the net celebrating the regional championship. That last play for Deforest, Kelleher's sister to another, Aspen delivering the pass to Jada.
Just to make that three-quarter court pass.
It was incredible.
And then to catch it, like I said, not only do you have somebody to throw it, but somebody that can catch it. She was able to put it down and get one quick dribble, but not quite enough elevation to be able to finish it. Otherwise, that would have been the other way. We would have had a buzzer beater either way. Incredible. This is what postseason basketball is all about. Heartbreak Hotel, and for the seniors, you look at the seniors for DeForest, 3 in the starting lineup: Mia Kuipers, Jalen Derline, and Aspen Kelleher. Tough one. So the Kelleher and Derline name will live on. They're younger sisters, and I'm sure next year they'll be coming back, hoping for a little bit of revenge if they can get MG again. But just an outstanding game for both teams. This is what it's all about, postseason time.
MG cutting down the nets. We'll keep it here for a few moments for those of you joining on Wisconsin On Demand to take in what Monona Grove gets to do here in celebration of the regional championship.
You don't always see this. I've seen some where they just take the plaque and move on. But this is something I think when you're in your own gym, you want to be able to do that.
So, DeForest season comes to an end. 18-8, the final record for the Norskies. but they gave the 4th-ranked team in Division II in the state all they could handle tonight. The number 1 seed Monona Grove Silver Eagles, a game-winning shot with 1.3 left by the junior Aubrey Smith. I mean, there were a bunch of different people to shout out in their performances tonight, Dennis. You saw Abby Inda carry the team leading scorer through the first half when everyone was struggling for the Silver Eagles shooting from the field. Saw the ball handling and the defensive skills for both Taylor Moreau and Brooklyn Tortorisi coming into significant play tonight. Danielle Becker, maybe with the 2 biggest shots of the season for the Silver Eagles. A freshman tied the game with a 3 at 40 and then gave Monona Grove the lead 43-40 with another 3 on the very next possession. An incredible sequence when you look at the senior leaders, some of the junior outstanding performers, and to get that from the freshman Becker on back-to-back shots was the turning point, I thought, in this game.
Well, you look at during the season for Monona Grove, they had between 5 and 10 points. You have 8 players in that category. Tonight, you had 6 players with between 5 and 11. Leading scorer Taylor Moreau with 2 3-pointers, big ones in the second half. That's the one part of the game that the Deforest had an edge on, but those were big. But for the freshman, Danielle Becker, she's always going to remember this game. On her home court, hitting 2 threes with ice in her veins. She played like a senior down there, down the stretch. And this is what makes postseason time. You just never know who the heroes are going to be. And we're here to document some wonderful memories. So hopefully they're going to be keeping a piece of this audio. And I'm sure Becker on those 3, on your 3 calls on her 3s. Oh, my God, that was me. It's wonderful for the kids. And now, make sure nobody falls off the ladder. You do not want an injury during, it was a movie, The Replacements. You can only celebrate if you can take the celebration. You can only do something good. Okay, you did some good. Now just don't get hurt. But, all the fans who are hanging around here for Deforest, like I said, a heartbreaker when you got to lose one at the end. And then you look back, and it never comes down to that last play. You always say, well, if we would have done this and that. Well, if you don't turn the ball over a couple times, or you make a free throw in the second quarter, or you take advantage of, that sequence where 8 offensive rebounds. And MG didn't come up with a basket there, but that kind of set the tone, I think, for the Silver Eagles. Their resiliency tonight. They won by 14 the first time these 2 teams played, but we knew it was not going to be a double-digit game tonight. And it was even better than I think we could have expected. 2 great back-to-back games.
Regionals did not disappoint.
What are we going to do next week?
A 3-point win last night for the Norskies over Sauk Prairie, and tonight a 1-point win at the buzzer with 1.3 left on the clock.
We're going to Stoughton next week, and you know what our history in Stoughton has been, right?
We've had a lot of buzzer beaters down in Stoughton over the years. So we will be in Stoughton, just so everybody knows, for the regionals for the boys. Stoughton and Deforest will play likely. Deforest and Fort Atkinson play in a quarterfinal game on Tuesday. So projecting if chalk plays out in the bracket, Deforest and Stoughton Friday night in the boys regional semifinal right here on Wisconsin On Demand and on 100.5 ESPN. And then the winner of that game will move on to the regional final for the boys on Saturday night. For the girls, we don't know where we're going to be on Thursday night yet. We wanted to see how some of the brackets played out. There is a very good chance we may go to Stoughton on Thursday night to go see Monona Grove and the winner of Reedsburg and McFarland right here on Wisconsin On Demand and on 100.5 ESPN. There was also a very compelling game between the winner of Verona and Wanakee. The winner of that would play likely Arrowhead in a sectional semifinal down in Oconomowoc. So that's one that we were keeping tabs on tonight as well to see if that could be where we are. So stay tuned for an announcement from ESPN Madison on our social media platforms and, of course, on air on 100.5 ESPN to find out where we will be for the girls' sectional semifinal on Thursday night.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than this. And we've still got 3 weeks of tournaments now. State wrestling was this weekend. Next week we've got gymnastics up in Rapids. And hockey, boys and girls, moving to Middleton for the first time. Alex and I talked about that on our show this week. And then also team wrestling next week they'll be at the field house. And then it's girls basketball and boys basketball the following weeks after that. So week 2 of our run to March Madness, almost the end of February frenzy here. Week number 2 of that. And looking for some more highlights, I'll tell you. It's just a great time of the year. And I can't believe it's 25th of February already, which means, I was talking to Danny Zweifel, the boys coach here in Monona Grove, was out taking tickets before, and watched the Cubs play today. Yes, he said, I got to see some baseball. So that's just around the corner, too.
Fun time of the year, no doubt.
I love it.
Monona Grove wins it by 1 in the regional final, 46-45, to defeat the Deforest Norskies. The final portion of the net coming down, and the celebration is on.
Leave it to the coach to get to take the last part of it down.
In her first season at the helm, Bree Murphy celebrating with her team, and wearing the net fittingly, number 22, Aubrey Smith, who had the game-winning shot with 1.3 left on the clock. What a night in the regional final. Monona Grove defeats DeForest and advances to the sectional later this week.
Yeah, shout out to Aspen Kelleher, leading scorer in the game tonight, 18 points, senior for DeForest. Had 3 threes, and her sister Jada will be back next year. And just 3 sets of sisters, so that's an incredible storyline for the Norskies too. But comes down to a team game, and somehow MG found a way to get it done.
Norski season comes to an end. Monona Grove moves on. For nearly 50 years, Zimbrick Honda has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles, and the trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search vehicle inventory. The celebration on for the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. 46-45, they win a thrilling regional final. For our video producer, Ryan Wollersheim, and for the Dean, Dennis Semrau, my name's Jesse Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on ESPN Wisconsin's Wisconsin On Demand.